In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a front caliper on your Subaru Impreza. I'm going to use a brake pedal depressor to depress the brake pedal so that while I'm doing the caliper, the brake fluid does not constantly leak out. Remove your front wheel. I'm going to use a 19mm socket. Remove the wheel. Install a lug nut onto the rotor to hold it in place. Using a 14mm socket, remove your caliper and bolts. Using a flat blade screwdriver, pry the caliper off. Hang it up out of the way. Make sure there's no pressure hanging on this hose. Remove your brake pads. You can use a flat blade screwdriver if they're really stuck in there. Just be sure to not mar up the pad surface. Remove your caliper bracket bolts using a 17mm socket. Now on the bench, get your new caliper ready for installation. We're going to disassemble the caliper from the caliper bracket. Set your caliper to the side. Take your slide pins out. Make sure they have grease on them. Reinstall. Make sure they slide nicely, nice and free. Do the same thing on the other one. It's best to do them one at a time so you don't lose the placement of each pin. One will have a rubber around it, one will not. Grease inside of these channels where your shims are going to be. Do the same on the other side. Install your new shims. Now you're ready to go back to the car. Install your caliper bracket. Torque the caliper bracket bolts to 59 foot-pounds. Install your brake pads. There are square slots in the rotor. Make sure that the guide pins are square to that. Install the new caliper. Install the caliper bolts. Torque the caliper bolts to 19 foot-pounds. Remove the union bolt that came installed on the caliper. Leave one copper washer on it for now. Have the other handy. Using a 12mm socket, we're going to remove the union bolt off of the old caliper. Make sure there's a drip tray or an absorbent mat under you. This will leak. Remove the brake hose. Make sure there is no washers on either side of the brake hose. If there is, you can use a flat blade or a pair of pliers if it's really stuck on to remove it. Grab one new washer, put it on the back side. Grab your union bolt, install that into the brake hose, and install that into the new caliper. Make your union bolt finger tight. And we're going to torque it down to 13 foot-pounds. Before cracking your bleeder, remove your brake pedal depressor and push on it until the caliper comes out a bit. Go to the caliper, remove the bleeder cover, and crack the bleeder open. Using a 10mm wrench, we're going to wait until it drips out, and you want to see a stream without bubbles. There's no bubbles coming out. I'm going to go ahead and close the bleeder. Clean all the areas that might have gotten wet. Reinstall the cap on the bleeder. And then get in the car and press the pedal a few times and make sure it is not leaking around the union bolt. Remove the lug nut holding on the rotor. And install the front wheel. Put on your 5 lug nuts, hand tight. And tighten them down in a star pattern. Now that our car is on the ground, we're going to tighten our lug nuts in a star pattern to 100 foot-pounds. Remove the cap on the master cylinder and add fluid till it's at the max fill line. Reinstall the cap. If you spilled any, clean it off.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.